This is the sixth gate of Kammasaka Zen, Hands of the Master. This is Dharma talk number 7. This is about the interconnection of the sixth gate, Hands of the Master, the sixth ox herding picture, riding the ox home, the koan, when walking just walk, when sitting just sit, but also interconnecting the fourth step on the Eightfold Path, right action. In the teachings of Zen, the pursuit of understanding the nature of existence often takes the form of exploring seemingly disparate elements that seem to converge into a unified expression of the truth. The sixth gate of Kammasaka referred to as the hands of the master. It symbolises non-duality and spontaneity. And this concept, it aligns profoundly with the sixth ox herding picture, riding the ox home. The koan, when walking just walk, when sitting just sit. And especially with the fourth step in the Noble Eightfold Path, known as right action. In Sanskrit, samyak karamata. Through each element stems from a distinct layer of Zen philosophy and practice, and their interplay reveals a cohesive and profound path towards enlightened awareness. And it's the interconnection of these elements that offer insight into a lived experience of Zen, and weaving together spontaneity, mindfulness, ethical conduct, and the dissolution of the ego. So the sixth gate represents the integration of non-duality and spontaneity in life. Now, non-duality arises from the deep realization of the interconnectedness of all things, and it transcending the distinctions of self and other, subject and object. We've talked about this in previous talks. Spontaneity in this context is not mere impulsiveness, but rather an intuitive, natural response to the unfolding moment. So this gate provides practitioners, or invites practitioners, to relinquish intellectualized control and embrace the actions that emerge from a place of profound alignment with the flow of existence. These hands embody skillfulness born of direct experience, right actions that are precise and unencumbered by egoic hesitation or doubt. So in essence, it calls for living in harmony with the unfolding present, where dualistic thinking dissolves and actions become an expression of the unified reality of life. And then the ox herding picture, it depicts the spiritual journey towards enlightenment through the 10 symbolic stages. And it's in the sixth stage, riding the ox home, that the practitioner has tamed the ox, symbolizing the mind or the true self. The struggle to control the mind have subsided. And there's an ease in moving with it. Because here the practitioner rides the ox as one would ride simply the rhythms of life. No longer resisting, but now simply flowing in harmony. And this stage reflects a deep trust in the natural unfolding of existence. It mirrors the spontaneity of the master's hand, where action arises effortlessly. The rider is no longer separate from the ox. They are one. And this unity emphasises non-duality, which aligns perfectly with the essence of the sixth gate. So riding the ox home is about returning to the world, carrying the wisdom and the equanimity of spiritual insight. Now the koan, when walking, just walk. When sitting, just sit. It distills the essence of mindfulness and simplicity. It urges us as practitioners to be fully present in each moment, without distinctions or mental entanglements. So this teaching aligns with Zen's emphasis on direct experience and the disillusion of this dualistic thinking. So, to just walk is to walk without the interference of self-consciousness, or judgments, or future-orientated thinking. It embodies the state of spontaneity where action is pure and uncontrived, akin to the actions guided by the master's hands. Similarly, it reflects the harmony of the rider and the ox in the sixth ox herding picture, where life's journey is navigated with grace and presence. So this koan serves as a practical expression of mindfulness, a cornerstone of the Eightfold Path. And it directly connects to the principles of right action. Right action being the fourth step on the Noble Eightfold Path, the path which offers ethical guidelines for living and living in harmony with the Dharma. It emphasises abstaining from actions that cause harm and encourages living in a way that benefits others. Right action, it calls for mindfulness and intention, where every deed is imbued with compassion and wisdom. So the connection between right action and the sixth gate lies in the emphasis on non-dual awareness and spontaneous action that arises from mindfulness. Actions that are guided by the Master's hands are inherently reliable and ethical because they are untainted by egoic motives. Similarly, the sixth ox herding picture reflects this ethical alignment. This ethical alignment where the practitioner's actions harmonise with the natural order. And then right action, when practiced deeply, it transcends being simply a set of rules. it becomes an expression of the unity experienced in non-duality, where ethical conduct, it flows naturally from the understanding of our interconnectedness with all that is around us and all other beings. And at the heart of these teachings lies the dynamic interplay between spontaneity and mindfulness. And in the sixth gate, it emphasizes spontaneity, an intuitive response to life, while the koan underscores the importance of mindful presence. So, far from being opposites, these qualities are two facets of the same realization. Spontaneity in Zen does not imply recklessness, but is the natural result of mindfulness. Because when one is fully present, as in the state encouraged by the koan, then actions arise effortlessly and in harmony with the moment. This unity of mindfulness and spontaneity is vividly depicted in the riding of the ox home, where the rider and the ox, they simply move as one. Right action, too, integrates these qualities. Ethical behaviour becomes spontaneous, particularly when it's based in mindfulness and non-duality. So actions are not dictated by external moral codes, but they emerge naturally from an understanding of interconnectedness and compassion. A common thread uniting these teachings is the dissolution of the ego. The sixth gate challenges us as practitioners to let go of this way of thinking, this dualistic attitude, where the self is seen as separate from the world. And this mirrors the sixth ox herding picture, where the rider and the ox no longer struggle against each other, but they move as one in the same direction. And then that koan teaches this lesson through simplicity, to just walk or just sit. And it abandons the overlay of this egoic commentary that always seems to complicate lives. And then similarly, right action arises when the ego no longer drives our decisions. And then ethical conduct flows from the recognition that harming others is ultimately harming ourselves. So non-duality is the foundation upon which spontaneity, mindfulness, and ethical action are built. When the illusion of separation dissolves, life becomes an unbroken stream of meaningful action. So the ultimate aim of Zen is not necessarily completely intellectual understanding, but also an embodied realization. So the sixth gate and the sixth ox herding picture, the koan and right action, they're not merely teachings to be contemplated, but they're ways of living. So to embody the sixth gate is to act with precision, and wisdom. The wisdom of the Master's hands. To live the sixth ox herding picture is to navigate life with ease and harmony. The ease and harmony of simply riding the ox home. To internalize the koan is to bring mindfulness into every step and to every breath. And then to practice right action is to let ethical conduct flow naturally from the heart. So these teachings, they converge in the practitioner's life, guiding us as practitioners towards a state where every action, no matter how mundane, simply becomes an expression of the Dharma.